Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to write an equation when you're given the graph of a line. So I'm going to be using slope-intercept form, which is like y equals mx plus b. There are other forms, but this is kind of my favorite. So just remember that the m here represents the slope, and the b represents the y-intercept. Alright, so if I need to write an equation of a line, I just need those two things. I need the slope, which I will put here, and I will need the y-intercept, which I will put right there. Okay, so looking at this, I see the y-intercept is right here. This is going to be my b value. It's 2, so I know I'm going to have a 2 right there. Now I just need the slope to put right here. So remember, the slope is like rise over run. So as I travel from point to point, let's see, what's the rise and what's the run? So as I go from point to point, I see that it's going down 1 and right 1. So I see that the slope, m, is negative 1 over 1, down 1, right 1. So that means that the slope overall is negative 1. So that would be like a negative 1 right here. Okay, so the answer to this would simply be written as y equals negative x plus 2. That would be the equation of this line. Alright, the negative 1, x is just negative x. So that's how you write an equation in y equals mx plus b form, slope-intercept form, if you will. Let's do it again. So I need the slope, and I need the y-intercept. Let's start with the y-intercept, because you can just look right here, there it is. So there's my y-intercept, which is at negative 3. So I know I'm going to need a negative 3 right there. Now how about the slope? Well, what's the rise and what's the run? It seems to be going up 1 and right 1 as I go from point to point. So that means my slope, I'll put it over here, it's up 1, right 1. So my slope is 1. Okay, so I could write this equation as simply y equals x minus 3. Alright, that is the equation of this line. Of course, 1x is just x, and we wouldn't write plus negative 3, we would just write minus 3. Alright, so that's number 8. What else you got? Wait, is that? Yeah, so it's number 7 and 8, so here comes number 9. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, so I need my slope, and I need my y-intercept. Alright, now this time my y-intercept is right here, which is 0. Alright, so really, when I write the equation, I'll put nothing right there. Now how about the slope? Now this time they didn't give us the dots, so I'm going in baby steps. So the previous problems I gave you actual dots to look at and count the squares. But this time you need your own dots. So I'm going to look for places where the line touches the grid lines, where the grid lines meet. So I'm not going to use this point because it's between the lines. I don't know exactly where it is, but this is right here where these grid lines meet. And then here again, right here, right where the grid lines meet. So as I travel from point to point, now I'm going to do my rise and my run. Rise and run. So this is negative 1 is the rise, and I have a run of positive 2. Okay, so that means my slope is negative 1 over 2, negative 1/2. Okay, so that means the final answer would be y equals negative 1/2 x. So remember, with that 0, I just don't put anything. So this would be the final answer for number 9. Okay, how about number 10? Alright, so I need my slope and my y-intercept. Okay, now the y-intercept again is 0. So again, I will just put nothing at the end of the equation. So what about my rise over run? Well, oh yeah, I need the dots. So these are the dots I would use right where the grid lines meet. And it seems to be going a rise of 1 and a run of 1. Okay, so that means my slope is 1 over 1, which is just 1. Okay, so that means the equation of this line would simply be y equals x. And that is all. Alright, 1x is just x, and 0 we put nothing. Alright, so that's it for number 10. Okay, number 11. So we have to be careful when we're writing an equation for this. A common mistake is to ignore the numbers on the side and just do this like we normally would, but that would be wrong. So again, we're going to think in terms of we need the slope and we need the y-intercept. So we need our slope and we need our y-intercept. But when you look at this, all right, this point right here is the y-intercept, but it's not 1, you know, which you would think if you just looked at the squares. This is 10. The y-intercept is here at 10. Now with the slope, we got to be careful because as I go from this point to this point, and I'm thinking what's the rise and then what's the run. The rise is not 1, all right? It's not up 1 over 3, no. It's going from 10 to 20, so that is a rise of 10. Now as I do this run, it's going from 0 to 15. So that is a run of 15. So a rise over run. Okay, so my slope, I think I'll just do it right here. My slope is 10 over 15. And what does this reduce down to? Divide by 5. 5 goes into 10 twice. 5 goes into 15 3 times. So there's my slope is 2/3. Okay, so the equation of this line is y equals 2/3 x plus 10. Okay, not 1/3. Alright, it's not up 1 over 3, it's up 10 over 15. And it's definitely not plus 1, it's plus 10. Alright, so that was number 11. Alright, I think I'm going to have to zoom out for number 12. The graph below shows the total number of computers that Javon will have repaired after each hour has passed. Alright, so here we have hours passing and how many computers he will have repaired. He has already repaired 4 computers. Okay, you can see that's your y-intercept there. Which expression could be used to show the total number of computers Javon will have repaired after X hours? Alright, so basically we need an equation for this graph. Well, the y-intercept is 4 because he's already done 4 computers as we start this problem. So, so far that narrows it down to either B or D. Alright, because those are the 2 problems that have a y-intercept of 4. Notice it's 4, not 2. Don't just count the squares. Now, so we can do a nice rise and run. Let's put some more points on here. These would be good points to use because they're right where those grid lines meet. Now, let's talk rise over run. Here's my rise, and here is my run. Alright, now my rise is not 1. I'm going from 4 to 6. Okay, that's up 2. That's a rise of 2. Now my run, I'm going from 0 to 3, so that really is just 3. Alright, this is just counting by 1. So it's up 2 over 3, not up 1 over 3, up 2 over 3. So that tells us that the correct answer is D, because the 2 over 3, not 1 over 3. Alright, so the answer is D. And basically that's how you can make an equation for a line that has been graphed for you. I hope this video has been helpful. I will watch out for you on the next video.